comment, and when you do subscribe, be sure to hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I drop a video. Today I want to bring a story out of Greenville, South Carolina. Now the story is over 100 years old, but I'm going to tie the past to the present and the future. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description box and what you're going to see the article. But this article goes back to October 2nd, 1918. And the title of the newspaper article is Negro Women to be Put to Work. And pretty much the article talks about white women being upset by not having enough laborers or people to come in and do the housework. So if you go back in the time, you had, Aboriginal people, men who were in the military, serving the country, fighting in the wars, and when you're a spouse of a soldier or someone in the military, the government, sends you checks, month to month or what have you, for living while your husband is off, fighting in the war. Well, you had a lot of black women, just like you probably had a lot of white women and anyone else who had a husband in the military. They get these checks. They see no need to work because, the government is, financing everything. So they stay home, take care of, do what they feel their duty is. Take care of home. Make sure the house is taken care of. Make sure the kids are raised and reared correctly. Well, you have Aboriginal women who felt the same way. But the problem it created was that you had white women who depended on these Aboriginal women to take care of their house, to cook their foods, and to raise their kids, and to watch their kids while they're out doing God knows what. And so these women were upset. So the issue was brought to the city council. The city council had a meeting and decided that they were going to put into law that these Negro women were going to have gainful employment. If not, they could be fined or in prison. Now, what's crazy about this also is when they're in their meeting and they're discussing this problem, one of the points they make is that it's the same type of rule or law that's in place for able-bodied men, that they had to be gainfully employed 5 days a week. So what they did is applied this to Aboriginal women. Nowhere did this say that it's going to apply to white women. This is solely going to apply to Negro women, so they can go and work in the white woman's house and pretty much, be a maid, be a cleaner. And they was going to enforce this as a law. Now, if you could think how devastating that could be, a lot of people don't understand. We're in a times where the men work, the women work, send their kids to daycare, send them to school all day. I think this is the norm, because it happens so frequently now that we feel it is the norm. So a lot of us see no problem with that, but the problem is what you're doing is once you see, and this goes out to, I've been reading Miss Sister Shahrazad Ali's book, The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman, and one of the things she says is that there's a problem when we send our kids at 8 weeks old, 3 months old to these daycares, and they're there all day. So naturally, if you're around anyone or any organization or any school or any institution, the majority of your waking hours, you are going to learn their ways. They're going to be able to brainwash you into learning their system. And the thing about it, the younger you start, the more subtle it can be. And so when your kids come home and they act a certain way, and you wonder what the problem is, you know, a lot of it is, yes, you still put the onus on the parents, because even when your kids come home, yeah, it's just gonna be a little tougher, but you still gotta teach them the right way to do things, or what you believe is the correct way to do things. But you can see how this can be devastating to the Aboriginal family, because you're already dealing with racism and discrimination. You really don't want your kids out there dealing with racist or bigoted people, and you don't want your kids to be at home alone as little babies, having to fend for themselves because you don't want to go to jail or get fined an exorbitant amount of money because you don't want to work. You're able-bodied, but you don't have to work. Financially, you do not have to work, but this government is going to make you work. Like I said, that had to have been devastating to the family. And so this story, I brought this story to the attention of my mom. And she told me how she can remember a time when she was a kid. And my grandmother, and this is like Southwest Arkansas, Little River County. And my grandmother went to go clean house for white people. And how my mom and her siblings hated that because my grandmother had to go do that. But that's the way, unfortunately, that's the way times were. And I believe that it may be getting back to that. Now, fast forward to today's time, and you have this whole epidemic that's happening. And now it's supposed to be quieting it down because they gave you a vaccination. So now you can walk around without your mask, kids go back to school, people can go back to work. Now they want people to go back to work. They gave people unemployment benefits. Now they want everybody to go back to work, but then the problem is, look, the government is paying us, let's say, $600 to live, but if I go to a job, I'm making $350. Why in the heck would I go back to work to the average person? But, Joe Biden and his, his administration are saying that people are going to have, if they are offered work, gainful employment, and if they're able to work, they have to take it, or they're going to lose their unemployment benefits, which I can understand that, government-wise, you don't want people who can work to just, get free, just sit around the house and do nothing and get free money, because you got people that will abuse the system. The problem is, when you think of an issue, when you think of a problem, you have to get down to the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem is these jobs, for the most part, were not paying a livable wage. Now, you can't make, if I made $12 an hour 8 years ago, as a single man, single dad, trying to go to school, and it was rough. I was barely making it. I can imagine making $11, $12 an hour now for people, grown people who, trying to support a family. It's not easy. Everybody knows, like I said, everybody knows that the value of the dollar goes down 2-3% every year. But inflation and the cost of living goes up, for 5, 6, 7% every year. So that doesn't help. So like I say, you're asking people to do something, asking people to make a choice between staying home and making more money than they made going to work. But you do have some companies who have increased their wages. I know, like some of the fast food joints. I know, like what was that name of that place? Some chicken strip joint. I can't think of the name of it. Cane's. I know Cane's and up there. They're up there paid to like $15 an hour, depending on where you live. Like Hobby Lobby pay like $17 an hour. So I mean, there are places who are raising their wages, and everybody's hiring now. But places like McDonald's still not paying $11, $12. Nursing home CNA still paying like $11, $12 an hour. That's hard to live on without having to get assistance from the government. But as you know, jobs are pretty much created for you to just be able to live off of and not really become rich off of, just long enough, just pay you enough to sustain your current lifestyle, busting your tail. But that's why I say tying the old story to the new story is that the government is going to make people go to work no matter what the job is paying, no matter how detrimental it can be to your family. I look back and I think it'd been better if, kids to stay home with the mom or whatever parent, and the one parent be able to, afford to raise a household. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. The man should be able to sustain the whole household. So that way the wife or the mother of the kids can raise the kids the correct way, not worry about other people influencing your children, or the kids having some kind of animosity against you because you were not able to be there for them. So, that's my story. That's what I wanted to bring to you. Let me know what you think. Tell me what your opinions are, about that story. Like I said, a little over 100 years ago. It show you that, history does pretty much repeat itself. If you don't know your history, you have to say you're bound to repeat it. Bound to repeat it. But like I say, thank y'all for joining. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You got your own YouTube channel. Hey, look at the description box. Check the links out. If you got your own YouTube channel, click on the TubeBuddy link. Like I said, it'll help you grow your channel. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Go to the website. Buy some merchandise, help support, keep the channel growing. And with that being said, keep growing, and peace.